better just run for your life. You better run for your life. You're not prepared for the night. You better run for your life. You're not prepared for the night.
Somebody give that man a raise. Yo, who is in charge of the advertisement for the goddamn 75th Ranger Regiment platoon or fucking unit? That is hard. Yo, it's 2025. We're going. I mean, look, first of all, Merry fucking Christmas to everybody, okay? It's already gonna be 2026. I waited a long time to make this video, guys. It is exciting times. Now, I do have a previous video that I might edit in here so you guys can see. It was me while I was at MEPS. Yes, you guys, it has been done. What did you expect? What did you expect? Look, I've been through so much. And I know my YouTube career didn't really start until right after one of the biggest devastating things that could have happened to me happened, right? And of course, we can't say that now. We never know what the future holds. Things could go worse at any minute, right? But at that time, when I made this video on YouTube, the first one, it was like right out of, just hell. And for a long time, I've lived my life in hell, whether it was a mental hell, whether it was a physical hell, whether it was a life. I've always dealt with things that were just really crazy. And I don't know if that's what made me this kind of person, but I know for a fact that ever since I was little, it was my dream to join the military, right? Now, you guys have to understand this. First of all, I want to give thanks to anybody who's in the service, right? All people in the service equally. However, there are a certain group of people, there's a certain kind of person that goes in there that I have of utmost respect for, right? This isn't the guy that's gonna go in there for the benefits, for the money, or because they just have no other way out and they may be carried out in the military, right? This person is a person that has to want something more than that. It's a fucking hunger. It's like, put me in, coach. The motherfuckers in the front line, like the fucking Rangers. Oh my God, motherfuckers are crazy. I like it, I respect it. Hats off to them, right? So for me, when I was 18 years old, I wanted to go to the Marines. It was a dream of mine. I got denied over some tattoos that I had. It was a very heartbreaking moment. It really was. And I was denied by them. I went to the Army and my process began then. And this was when I was around 19 years old. I just recently came back from my little trip. If you know my videos and you watch my videos, you know what trip I'm talking about. And so I was like, in that time, in that headspace, like, this is something that I want to do. I got nothing else going for myself, right? And I went through the process. It took about 8-9 months to get things just organized, right? I had, charges that had to be checked out. I had things and waivers and all these kinds of things that were popping up on my record. And my recruiter at the time, man, God bless his soul, helped me get my social, my ID. I mean, everything. He said everything in stone. And unfortunately, within that time frame, I had moved away back to Lancaster. I came back to Lancaster and I let go of that dream for a while. It kind of I started needed to make money. I wanted to go work, get some kind of experience in life, right? As one would. Bills are piling up. I want my own money. And I let that shit go for a little bit. But even then, I still had it in the back of my mind, like, damn, I want something I want to do. But my why, my reason for it wasn't there. It was just, what else can I do, right? Not something that, I look up to, right? It's not one of those personality or reasons to why somebody that I feel, right, can perform in these high tier levels in extreme situations would have. Like, it's not a good reason. And after a while, I let it go for a little bit, and I decided out of nowhere again, hey, this was maybe in 2022, 2023. I was like, I'm gonna try the Army again, the one that I have here close to home, the recruiting station. And this guy, I don't know if he just got it like that, where he was constantly like leaving. I don't know if it was for training, vacations. I don't know what it was. I'm not gonna put him down. All I know is just I couldn't get a hold of this guy. What should have taken a couple of weeks took months. And then after that, something just always had to happen. I mean, we were probably working with each other for about a year-ish. I went to MEPS. I think when I went with him, it was my second time. The first time I went to MEPS, guys, if you guys don't know, that's where you go and they do a test for you to see where you're at mentally, right? Now, the first time I went there, which was in 2021, I want to say, maybe 2020, I scored about, it was not high, guys. I'm not going to act like I'm some brainiac. It was like a 67, right? Now, this 67, although is above average, is not going to get you where I've always wanted to go, right? And so I didn't know it at the time, though. You know, I just thought, oh, okay, it's an above average score. Maybe I'll get the job that I want. Anyways, fast forward, when I came to here and I went to MEPS the second time, right? I scored a 69. I'm like, oh, like, okay, I'm not getting any stupider, you know? And so I went to MEPS, something had happened, it was a medical thing, it washed me out, and I had to go through this process again. At this time, I'm 23, maybe, I'm 22, 21, 22. I'm losing patience, I'm working construction, I'm like, you know what, I'm just like, if it's gonna take another, couple months, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. And what do you know? The waiver that I had to get from the courts or from the medical was gonna take about 20 weeks to like 36 weeks. And at this point, I was frustrated. I'm like, man, I wanna go, I wanna, do this, I wanna go into the military. Like, I have an idea of what I wanna do, and it's gonna be like something like front line, right? Like, I wanna jump out of a plane. At this point, I didn't know much about the military. All I knew is that those were the things that I wanted to do. Now, at the time, I didn't know that I wouldn't qualify for any kind of active level unit, right? My score was still too low. So maybe this was God's hand in just like trying to put me to mature a little bit, right? And so I started doing research. I gave up on that, right? First, I gave up on that. I didn't start doing research. I gave up on that, and I started working construction full time, and I let go of the dream. I was like, you know what? It's probably just not meant for me. Then what happened, 2024, right? The middle of 2024, my whole situation. I want to be very careful what I say here. If you guys watch my previous videos, you know. That situation happened. All my dreams have had been gone. I didn't have a direction. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have anything, nothing. So the military just left my mind. And I want to say about a couple months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I had a text. It was an email. I don't know if I had gone through like a job loss or something. I was feeling hopeless again. I was feeling just like, man, what's going on? Like, I have no direction. I'm feeling like, damn, what the fuck? And I got a text. It was an email, and it was the Navy. I was like, what the fuck, the Navy? Like, the Navy. You know what I mean? Like, I texted the recruiter, they texted me, and I was like, hey, you know what? I don't know why I have this. I'm not really looking to get into the military. I've already tried before, and it just didn't work out. And that's how she got me. She's like, well, why didn't it work out? I'm like, well, things were happening. I couldn't get a hold of my recruiter. There was things in waivers I had to get passed and that he wasn't able to do. And she's like, oh, well, tell you what, come in, sit down, and let's see if we can help you. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, that's not what I want to do. And she's like, nah, come on. I'm like, okay, whatever. What's the worst that can happen? I told her, hey, look, I probably went to the Army about 2 years ago. If I have to take the ASVAB, which is what it's called, to go to MEPS, to that area where they, test you, again, I'm not taking the test again. I don't want to do it. Like, if I'm still in that 2-year period where it still qualifies me, then yeah, let's do it. Because I haven't been studying. I feel like I've lost a little bit of knowledge of anything. So I go, and she convinces me, so I go. I sit down with her. Cool. I mean, one of the best recruiters, man. This is where I stand really firm. There's some times where women just do shit that men cannot fucking do, right? Because she made it happen. She got me there. She sat me down. She's like, hey, guess what? It looks like you're about a week before you actually have to, retake the test. If I put all your information now and I ship you off, or I send you off over there to MEPS within like a couple of days, like we might fall in that time frame and you don't have to do anything but just like swear in. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, but what combat jobs does the Navy have? And she's like, oh, well, we have the SEALs. I was like, oh shit, the Navy SEALs. Like that's like those motherfuckers killed Bin Laden. Those motherfuckers are the ones you sent on secret missions and shit. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, but do I qualify for that? And she's like, well, I think so. Like, let's just put all your information first and then we'll figure it out. I'll give you a call. So I'm excited. I'm like, okay, let's do it. What, a SEAL? I start looking up SEALs. Like I should start diving deep into this, right? I'm getting into this, learning what they do, how the training goes, what BUDS is, all this awesome stuff, right? And in the meantime, she's working in the background. Well, a week goes by and she tells me something that kind of breaks my heart. She's like, hey, unfortunately, by the time we finish processing your thing, you would have to, it would not qualify. You would have to take the ASVAB again. I was like, fuck no. I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't think this is gonna happen. And a little part of me from watching all those videos was like kind of pumped up. I was kind of pumped up, like maybe I can do this. But the other side was like, I don't want to take the test again. And she was like, look, honestly, like I can make this happen fast. Let's just take the practice test, see where you're at, and then I can send you off really fast. You won't have to wait long, and it'll be quick. I mean, you might not even have to take the whole thing. And I'm like, I mean, fuck it. What do I have to lose, right? I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for things. Like, fuck it. Let's do it. I'll take the shot. So in that office, I take a little practice test. When I tell you I get that test back and I get a 40 something, she was all excited, right? Because she's like, oh wow, like that's you need 33 to pass, like anything, right? But that's not how I roll. But it was like 40 something, and I was like, yo, I'm getting stupid. Like that was a big fear of me. I was like, oh fuck, I'm getting stupid. And she was like, hey, you passed, like if you were to go to like MEPS, it might even be a little bit higher, like you never know. And I was like, I mean, the last time I did this, I was at a 69. I dropped to 40 something. She's like, yeah, but like, look, I'm gonna send you some information. I'm gonna send you out in like a week or two, and then you just study. I was like, ugh, I don't want to study. But again, a part of me was like, yo, I can't go out like this, a 44. I mean, if at worst, let me at least beat my score. So I'm like, fuck it. If you can take me out in a week or two in MEPS, like, I'll do it. I'm gonna start studying. A week, 2 weeks go by, nothing. So I start getting frustrated. I start losing hope again. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna study. I don't think this is gonna happen. 3 weeks. On the 4th week, she hits me up. She's like, hey, I got you a time. Have you been studying? No. When's the time? I'm like, fuck, when's the time? She's like, it's gonna be in 2 weeks. Exact. I'm like, okay, you sure? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, bet. Awesome. I get everything I can on YouTube. I get a notebook. I break down every category that I need for that specific job, which is the Navy SEALs. Everything, every category, whatever I need to learn. I compress that using ChatGPT for like a 14-day study break, right? Like a study session, a study guide. And I go hard. I'm working, but I get some time. So I'm like 4 hours a day in the morning just jamming out. Just jamming this thing out. Blah, 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 blah. Like just hard for like 12 days straight. And the day finally comes. The day finally comes. I might even post a little clip right here of me just driving there, right? Just driving there. I'll also probably post a clip of like me in the actual hotel room where they put you like a day before. I'm gonna start going into a couple videos of how these processes work, just because it's exciting and gives me more ideas for videos. But anyways, I'm excited. I get there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, like for show. I get in there, I take the test. Guys, if you guys don't know this, MEPS takes like about 10 hours. Like you go to a hotel first the night before, and you have to be up by like 3:30 in the morning, eat some food, right? Get ready to go to MEPS, and then they don't open the doors until like 5, and then it's just I'm gonna go down on a breakdown on another video about how that works, okay? But anyways, I take my test. I finish the test and I go straight to the medical, and I ask the person in the front desk, like, yo, like, do you guys have my score? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what'd I get? They're like, you got a 71. Let's go! Like, let's go. That's all I need. Like, I beat my last score. Let's go. And boom, the day ends. I'm gonna compress all this. The day ends. I go back to my recruiter, and I tell her about it. She's like, yeah, let's fuck. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, no. So all that goes. I'm excited. I finished the medical process because you have to be processed and you have to pass medical screening, hearing screening, eye screening, everything screening. And the last time I went, I failed the medical, so I was a little nervous. But I passed everything today, right? And they had me on a one day, same day process, which means that day I go in, I take the test, I qualify, I pick a job, and I swear in. Well, everything finishes. I'm about to go pick a job, and something hits me. I start seeing these like army dudes lining up, and something hits me. I'm like, I kind of want to go in the army. Like if the Navies can put me in, why not go in the army? Like I'm not a big fan of the ocean, like of water. And God, I have so many things that's been happening in the past, just even in the past 2 months. It's just so much. I've already started, like, I got a PDF for like training like a Navy SEAL. Like I'm going at it right now. I'm training 4 or 5 hours a day. We'll get into another video how my training looks, but anyways, instead of swearing in, I call my recruiters and I let them down. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna swear in today. I'm not gonna do the Navy. I mean, they're blowing up my phone, you know. They're probably thinking I got cold feet or something, but it's like, nah, like, I've always wanted to be a Ranger, like an Army Airborne Ranger. Like, that just sounds hard. Like, that's just like what I've always wanted to do. Like, that's the epitome of like breaking yourself. It's the hardest training. Like, it's not just physical, it's not just mental. This is a test of will, of like who you are when you're broken. And so I was like, I'm gonna do Army. And guys, when I tell you, I called up a recruiter right there and then in MEPS, an Army recruiter. I said, bro, what do I need to get into the military with you guys? They're like, just show up over here when you come back and we'll go through what you qualify for. I'm like, do you guys have any Ranger slots available? And of course they lied to me. They're like, yeah, we should have some. Boom, I leave MEPS. I get in my car and I leave MEPS. The next day, I go to the Army recruiting station. Guys, I go through the process, the basic who you are, what's your name, all this fucking boring stuff. And then it goes to the jobs. I'm like, yo, what do I need to qualify? He's like, well, for you to get in any kind of like special operations force, which is what it's called, Special Operation Force, which is all the branches like SEALs, you have the Rangers, you have Delta Force, you have the Green Berets, you have the PJs, whatever. Like the real hardcore, like the real Call of Duty stuff, right? You're not just wearing a uniform, like you're really that guy, right? You need to have like a 70. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have qualified before. I give thanks to God because I prepared this time. And I'm even physically preparing now. Which, like I said, I'll get into another video with that, how my breakdown, how my workout breakdown is. And I'm like, okay, so what's up? Like, am I qualifying for a Ranger? Like, have you guys seen that beginning freaking ad? That shit go hard. And they're like, unfortunately, we don't have any slots. And then I'm like, damn. Like, that sucks. Like, I don't want to do anything else. Like, I'm not gonna go in the military to be a fucking paper pusher, a fucking engineer, a construction worker. Like I go hard. Like, that's what I want. And I've been watching videos and everything. I know what it, like, obviously I can't tell literally how it's gonna be, but I know that this is the direction that I want to go to. And so I look defeated and he's like, don't, hold on. We do have the 18X program. I'm I'm like, what the fuck is the 18X porn? That sounds like a fucking porn. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the 18X is still Special Forces. That's what it's called, Special Forces. I'm like, Special Forces? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do they jump out of planes? like that's just what I really want to do. He's like, yeah, like they do, you know, and they're right there with the SEALs and the Rangers and the PJs, you know. And then I'm like, what pipeline is this? He's like, well, that's the Green Berets. I was like, what? I'm like, but like, do they get action like, you know, the Rangers do? Because like, again, that's what I want to do. Like, send me in, coach. And he's like, yeah. And so I started doing research on this, and it's badass. It's an old man's game. The Rangers, usually you get Rangers like 21, 22, 23. And those are kind of the age groups. But by the time I head out, I'm gonna be 25. And so Green Berets are more, I'm gonna get into a video of how they are, who they are, and you know, why I think that fits me a little bit better. But guys, March 2nd, I'm praying to God. I'm trying to keep my nose clean. I'm trying to maintain myself, prepare myself physically, right, mentally. But I'm out of here. I've been waiting for this moment all of my life, kind of thing, right? Like, to me, it's gonna be the most beautiful time of my life. I've already been away from family. I've already had nothing. I've hit rock bottom so many times. But one thing I've noticed is that I don't just, even if it takes a while, I get back the fuck up. And what else is there to do? I've done it all. I've beat the so-called depression. I want to be careful what I say, but you guys know, I beat that, right? Working out, I mean, I'm there. Like, what's next, homie? Like, let's go. Let's keep moving up. I told you guys when I started this video, all that is behind me. I don't want to live my life as a person like, oh, well, this is what I used to do. Like, no, what's next? Boom, let's go. I already got a plan on what's gonna happen. Let's pray to God I make it out there. I come the fuck back. There's already a plan laid out. We already know what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. So I wanted to wait until I actually swore in. You guys will see right here. I wanted to wait until all that was done so no little bad juju happens, because trust me, there was some obstacles that came up and it was probably gonna happen, probably not, probably gonna happen. So again, that's the maturity in me that I'm noticing, that where I'm not getting too excited and yelling it out at the rooftops before it happens. Again, I'm also training my ass off. Again, I do not claim to be anything. I'm nobody. Right now, I'm nobody. Qualifying for this and being that are two different things, and I know that. I know that for a fact. The attrition rate is horribly high. Like, the graduation for these programs, the SEALs, the Green Berets, the Rangers, this isn't just you don't have to just be a physical phenomenon, right? You have D1 athletes failing this. You have fucking nerds failing this. Like, you have people that this is a kind of thing where it's like, it's all in. And I ain't got shit to lose. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are still watching, I'm gonna pump out these videos, guys. I have nothing else left. I'm just training and working and training and working. And I'm gonna make more room for this shit. We're gonna pop off. I'm so excited, guys. I'm gonna take you guys in a little bit of I'm gonna get a tripod. I haven't done it, but I'm gonna get a tripod so you guys can see my swimming, see my workouts, my training. I go hard in the paint. We're not playing. This isn't a game. This is gonna be my life. This is me training wheels. Once I get to OSA, you know what I'm saying, basic training, that's training wheels. Once we get to the fucking airborne and shit, that's kindergarten. Once we get to the fucking preparation course for the SFAS, that is at most high school, right? Once we get to the Q course, that's college league football. But once I'm in the team and we make that shit, that's the NFL. But once we get to the real shit that I want to get to, real life shit, right? Not just being the epitome of where I'm gonna be at, but more. That I don't even want to talk about it because I don't feel like I deserve it yet. Let me at least earn that shit first. But that, once I get there, guys, it's gonna be some shit. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you guys are wondering where the fuck I went, I'm still here, I'm still alive, we're still grinding. It's just gonna keep on coming. I might disappear for a while, so I do want to make sure that I post these so you guys will know where the fuck did this guy go. You'll know. Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year's if I don't post another video before then, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to. I'm gonna make it work, figure this fucking shit out. Who cares? Let's go. Boom.